Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon or good evening wherever you are. Welcome to my YouTube channel Technical Glitch. Today we are going to discuss about a major internet outage which happened almost like say 8 or 9 or 10 hours before, and we can call it as an Akamai Technologies outages as well. So I'll go over one by one and explain in detail what really it is. Moving on. So this is an objective what we are going to discuss in this today's video. So first one is Akamai outage, why it led to a global internet outage for major websites. And because of Akamai outage, who are all the major organizations or companies or major websites which got affected. And the last but not the least one, which I feel more interesting one, is why today's outage is comparable to Fastly's outage a week ago and its possible technical cost of what would have cost it. So the first one is today around 12:10 a.m. EST, major websites were not reachable and were down. In downdetector.com and other monitoring websites, people started reporting saying my Hong Kong Stock Exchange website is down, and my Virgin Australia Airlines website is down, and blah blah blah, and people started reporting back and forth. And at the same time, lot of users, n number of users reported saying the Akamai Technologies, who is a CDN provider, were down. And so that's where people started suspecting because since Akamai is a CDN provider, the CDN provider was used by a lot of organizations to get closer to the end users. Is it because of this guy all these websites were not reachable and they were down or something? People are suspecting that. So I think later when a person from Akamai he officially made a tweet in Twitter saying they were aware of this issue and they were working to provide a fix, and the people confirmed yeah, this Akamai CDN provider was a reason for having this global outage. so I just wanted to explain what Akamai as an organization they do to some level, because so that it will help you to understand why Akamai outage it got outage across the globe for many major websites. So basically Akamai is a cloud delivery network operator. So cloud delivery network operator, in simple terms, what they do is they get closer to the end users. So the reason for getting closer is to have an enhanced performance, to have an additional security features. And for those reasons, many organizations they tend to have the CDN operators to serve for their organizations. And so I have a snippet attached here, and let me explain using that one, so that you can get a detailed understanding, so that you can understand this issue also in a more detailed manner. So say for an example, I'm a client, let's say I'm sitting in Chicago, USA, for an example, and I'm trying to reach a website, www.hongkongstockexchange.com. So from Chicago, I need to travel all the way to Hong Kong, where the server has been hosted, and I have to get the data and I have to return back. Say, as it is mentioned here, it's going to take 120 seconds. Now, when a CDN operator or CDN provider is going to be, where the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, they got a tie-up with Akamai. I mean, it's actually they do. They have a tie-up with the Akamai CDN provider. Let's consider an example. These CDN providers, they have their data centers split across all the all the everywhere in the globe. So because that's their purpose. Say for an example, Akamai, they have a data center resides somewhere in New York. What happens is when the Hong Kong data center, whatever the data, everything, it will get replicated, or those image will be copied to the data CDN data center, which is residing in New York. They use certain sort of algorithm or technology, to replicate or sync the data between the origin, the source location, and to the CDN data center. So again, if I'm going to, query the same www.hongkongstockexchange.com from Chicago, I don't need to, reach the Hong Kong data center. Instead, I will, reach this CDN data center, which is located in New York, and I will be, getting the result, within 40 milliseconds. So, which is faster, and that's why this is what, the Akamai or CDN operator does. They get closer to the end users, and they, as they become, as they get as close as possible, their performance will be like, will be enhanced like anything. And along with that, they also provide some additional security features, as which they are renowned to do so. And also, one more thing, they act like a proxy server. So in this case, I'm not going to directly, reach out to the original host. Instead, I'm going to reach out to the CDN data center. So I'll not be knowing, what the host, actual host is. So it's more of like, proxy servers for the customers. Moving on, and because of this Akamai outage, who are all the major organizations or companies or major websites which got affected? And based on reports in Down Detector and New York Times and all those things, most of the Australian and US bank has been badly hit. US bank and airline companies along has been badly hit. Say for these are all they have listed down, like Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Westpac Bank, and the Australian New Zealand Banking Group. And with respect to airlines, Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, Virgin Australia, etc. And as I cited an example, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange website also has been badly hit. Along with that, like they were saying, some websites in Germany and India also has been affected, but they didn't mention or listed down, what website are they. Moving on, this is one of the important topic, which I just wanted to discuss, whoever is following this technical news recently, recently, this is just 10 days before, or 8-9 days before, they will be aware, there is a similar sort of outage which happened in Fastly technologies. Okay, so why today's outage is comparable to Fastly outage a week ago, and its possible technical cause. See, both Akamai and Fastly are CDN providers. They both do the same business, and what they do is, as I stated earlier, they will get closer to the end users to have an enhanced performance and secure by adding some sort of additional security features as well. So Fastly, they reported an issue a week back. I think most of the people are, if you are not aware enough, if you not aware of this issue, let me have a brief thing. Around some 8 to 9 days back, a similar sort of an issue happened. Major website like AWS, Reddit, New York Times, the UK government agencies websites were not reachable, and Fastly is the reason why. So Fastly, they are the CDN provider. All these organizations were using this Fastly CDN provider, and as Fastly CDN provider went down because of an outage, all these websites were not accessible. And later, Fastly came back and told, it's because of the software bug. As part of their planned configuration changes, they were trying to do it, and because of that, it triggered a software bug. And also they told, they should have identified in the testing phase, and they missed it and all those things. But yeah, it tends to happen, right? But I think that's what, CDN operators, these two issues clearly elaborate, how critical they are. See, as a bank or as an airlines, we are saying it as a critical, but these CDN providers, they are hosting, all this critical website, critical banks, some kind of, AWS, one among them, they are depend on the CDN providers. When this CDN providers goes down, It's like half of the world is down. It's like that. They are that much super critical. So moving on, does Akamai also hit with the similar issue? Because as both are CDN providers, they should be using more or less of the same technology, tools, utilities, and all those things. People suspecting like it could be because of the same sort of an issue, or it's something totally different. For Fastly, it's a software bug. Let's wait and see like what brought Akamai down. I think in some time now they should be giving an update like what really happened, and let's wait and watch and see what they say. And I hope like I explained the internet outage to some level of understanding, I believe. So thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you.